Hello everyone, welcome back to cosolix. I'm your host cosolix, and today I'm telling you 10 reasons why you're not Valhallan in Brawlhalla. Let's get right into this. Okay, so the first reason why you're not in Valhallan, you don't play consistently enough. And I'm not talking about playing Brawlhalla too much. It's not playing 5 hours a day. It's about consistency, right? You could be playing 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes. But as long as you're doing it consistently every single day, you're going to improve rapidly, especially if those 10 minutes are used in like ranked or you're really trying to get better. You don't need to play 5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, whatever. Just play consistently. And if you can't play one day, then maybe 1 hour every other day and kind of make up for it, or 30 minutes a day. You can kind of do whatever you want, but play consistent. Number 2, while you're not in Valhallan, you don't know which combos to use. There's a ton of true combos in the game. A lot of people watching don't know the combos, but more important, which combos should you use in what situation? So my opponent, this Ezio's in white. I'm going to ask you, I've got Lance right now. I know some of you might not play Lance, but it's whatever. Which combo should I use if I can punish with a side light? Should I go for side light down air, or should I go for side light neutral air? And knowing which combo to use on the weapon you play at a given time will maximize the amount of damage you do for every exchange you win. So in this situation, side light downer is the better play, because side light downer leads into an end light at 1 dodge frame, and that's a 3-hit combo. When you can't side light their end light, then you side light narrow because it gives you a bit better positioning, and side light downer becomes dodgeable once like the downer end light stops working. You can actually dodge up to get out of it. But it's the same thing on axe, right? Should you side light down light, or should you side light neutral air? Well, it actually depends on how the side light picks up. If it picks up stacked, you can side light down light, or you can side light down air. But if it picks up further away, these combos, they don't work. So again, it's recognizing which combo should I go for in the moment. And that's why you're not Valhallan. And this is applicable on every weapon in the game. Number 3, why you're not Valhallan. You go for combos when you shouldn't, and more specifically strings, not true combos. So a lot of people on Lance will go for side light there, side light there, and they're just trying to zero to death, and they're going, this is overextending. If you're going for a combo that isn't going to hit and your opponent is going to get out, and spoiler alert, once you hit gold, people get out of the stuff that isn't true. You're putting yourself in a really bad position. For instance, like what if the opponent spot dodges, I'm just going to set the dodge, so let's say they spot dodge my side light side air, I'm in a really bad position. Now they get stage control, they get the weapon, etc. And it's the same thing with every weapon. Oh, should I go for side light now recovery? Well, now look at the positioning. I'm all the way in the top left of the map in a disadvantaged state when my opponent's got stage control. Just for going for too much. That's called overextending, where we want to hit the true combos and then we want to keep the stage control and then keep going. You can do these strings like Sandstorm does when you know why they work, and that's when you take dodges and whatnot, and that's the next level. Not featuring this video, but if you want to learn more, subscribe. And number 4, why you're not in Valhallan, your attack accuracy is too low. So I want you to just take a mental note and think about yourself. When you're going for an attack, right, what are the odds it's going to land? And really question that, right? Oh, I'm going for a punish. It's got like let's say it has a 50-50 chance of landing. Don't go for it. If you can miss, it's better to do nothing. There's no downside to doing nothing, honestly. You just reset neutral. But if you go for it, you're putting yourself in a potential disadvantage. So really focus on accuracy. You can do the math. The attacks that land over the amount of attacks that you try and actually throw out. And that's your attack accuracy. Sometimes people are going to want to bait with attacks, like attacks with movement and momentum, like Lance Nair. You're not throwing it out necessarily to land. That's at a higher level. But in general, the attacks you try and land, think of what are the odds your attacks are hitting. And that is the number 1 reason why people are not Valhallan, in my opinion. The attack accuracy is too low. You guys are going for stuff that's too risky. And no, I'm not telling you to play more passive, but sometimes you have to learn how to be accurate before you can be aggressive. And that's why you're not Valhallan. Number 5, why you're not Valhallan, you're not subscribed to Nutrelix. Here, we make tons of content to help you improve at Brawlhalla. So subscribe if you want to improve, and check out other amazing pros. Pavelski, Eggsoup isn't a pro, but he's a damn good player. Bazon, Boomies, Sandstorm, there's so many great Brawlhalla creators and pro players. Subscribe to all of them and watch their content, because when you watch Brawlhalla content, you're gonna, even if you're not learning, if you just see good gameplay, you can be like, hey, I see what you're doing, I'm gonna do that in my own game. So guys, watch more content, subscribe to Nutrelix. Number 6, why you're not Valhallan, you don't have a main. I know there are some players who hit Valhallan without necessarily having a main, but it's always better to pick a main, and this is because if we want to improve as quickly as possible, we want to isolate what's the number one easiest way to improve. And to isolate something, you're like, every weapon has different positioning, different combos and whatnot. If you're playing everything, there's so much to improve on. There's so many variables. You could learn one weapon's combo, then you have a 1 in 11 chance of even using that weapon in a game, or 1 in 12. It's crazy. So pick one legend, maybe even pick one weapon, like what I do with Lance, and try and perfect and kind of isolate. It's the same in like business and whatnot. It's like focusing on a niche. Let's find a weapon that you love, or a legend that you love, and optimize that legend before you try and play others. Number 7, your settings aren't optimal for Brawlhalla. So we made a settings guide. I'm going to link that down below, but spoiler alert for that video, here's a small thing that you can do. You're going to want to watch that video, especially if this applies to you. Check this out. Your secondary region might be enabled. So by default, Brawlhalla enables secondary regions to help with queuing. So go to settings, change region, and people are like, hey, look, I'm on US East. Well, click add server, and by default, US West is enabled. And if you're in Europe, some other secondary region, like maybe Asia or the Middle East, will be enabled. That's crazy. It's crazy that Brawlhalla does that by default. So guys, turn that off if that's enabled, and check out the settings video, especially if that's enabled, because there's so many more settings that can help you improve. So number 8, why you're not Valhallan, you don't practice your movement enough. Between stocks, when loading into games and that like waiting room free-for-all or whatever, practice your movement and just do it whenever you can, because movement is the same in sports, walking compared to running. And this is the best comparison I can make. Messi with soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. An athlete running gets more options to work with than an athlete walking. If you try and walk to the other side of the stage, it's so much slower. But if you run, now you have more options. Now I can side light. Now I can end light. Now I can side sig. But if you're all the way over here, it's too slow. So again, practice your movement, especially dash jumps are the fastest way to move in Brawlhalla. It looks like I'm literally hacking going across the stage. Like, look how fast that is. It's crazy. So guys, practice your movement. There's tons of movement guides all over the place. Or check out the one from Nutrelix on this channel. Just search it up. I'm going to link it down below as well. Especially, take a look at this. Look how low this is. This is crazy. Practice your movement, guys. Number 9, why you're not Valhallan, you don't play on PC. This is a sad truth. PC players have the least amount of input lag, because we can actually add settings like frame fix unbounded and whatnot. We have other videos on how to optimize your settings. But if you're a console player and you're diamond and you want to take it to the next level, honestly, selling your console and just building a computer and then buying the cheapest 144 Hz monitor you can find is going to give you the least amount of input lag. I'm not kidding. It's sad to say, but Brawlhalla on PC is the most optimal. Don't use an excuse. There are plenty of Valhallan players who are on console. If I played on console, I would still hit Valhallan. So again, it's on you. But PC is better. And number 10, why you're not in Valhallan, you don't give it your all. Like, sure, you can go out sweaty, but do whatever it takes to win. Pretend you are the legend you're playing, and you're in a fight to the death, and you do not want to lose. Give it your all, especially in ranked. Do whatever it takes to win. If you win in the way that annoys your opponent, blame the game, not yourself. Again, do whatever it takes. You got this. Just do it. I'm Shia LaBeouf. Anyways, guys, I hope this video helped. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.